Thank you all, and thank you to Laura, thank you to Executive Vice President Ribera, to former Prime Minister Enrico Letta, joining us from Washington, D.C. so early in the morning. It's great to see him and great to be here. I'm joined, my name's Jamil Andolini, I'm the Regional Director for Politico in Europe. I'm joined here by Fina Lladós, who is the President of Farmaindustria, which represents, here in Spain, innovative pharmaceutical companies.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, great to see you. And thank you all for being here. It's such a great audience, a great conference so far. And as soon as people have stopped moving and settled down, we'll get into it. This topic is hugely important, not just in Europe. The pharmaceutical industry is crucial for European competitiveness, European growth, but it's also incredibly important here in Barcelona and in Catalonia. I understand that there are tens of thousands of jobs just here in Catalonia that are involved in the pharmaceutical industry. And so this is incredibly important for all of us in Europe, but it's incredibly important for this city and for this province. Unfortunately, Europe has gone from being a global leader in biopharma innovation as recently as the 1990s to third place today behind the United States and China. So I want to ask you, Fina, why has this happened? How do you explain this shift that has happened from us in Europe being such a leader in this area to now being third? First, we were overtaken by the United States in the 1990s, 2000s, and just in the last few years, China has overtaken us as well. So how do you explain this?
Yeah, sure. First, bon dia, good morning, buenos dias. I'm very happy being here, and congratulations for choosing this amazing city for having this event. And we unfortunately have gone through a journey that we don't like so far because we have lost competitiveness in the last 20 years. Actually, in these last 20 years, we have lost 25% investment in research and development. In the last 10 years, we have lost 1/4 in clinical research. Why? One of the things that I think it's important to know is that we have been very successful initially in having a very solid researchers, leaders around the world that were located and allocated in Europe, but at the same time, we have not been very successful to set up a solid end-to-end from creating an idea and transforming that into a product or a medicine that can also save life. And this continuum of needs that we need in all the blockchain has been not really well developed.
So we have like very, very good researchers, very good scientists who come up with very innovative ideas, but that chain that takes the very good idea, the very good concept, scientific breakthrough, and takes it to a product, that's where we're falling down. And is that because we've lost the funding in that sort of middle stage? And why is the funding so much less?
One of the things that we have been not very smart in the way that we have not prioritized really investing, having public investment at the magnitude that, for example, has done US and also is doing today China. And this has created not a full line of from end-to-end process there. And this is what impacts us currently with the situation that we have now in US as an example. They try to attract now investments there with the most favored nation piece, and it's even kind of attracting more investment there. So one of the things that we need to think about is how we overcome this situation. What are the opportunities that we have now to really make sure that Europe remains one of the key partners and we surpass the situation where US is doubling our research in new advanced therapy for the future and China is multiplying by 3 what it it has Europe. So that's the thing, that the duty that we have today.
So without sort of suggesting we just copy America or China, what is it that they're doing? Is it the same thing that they're doing in both places that is leading to the success, or are they following different models? Like, I mean, I spent a long time in China, actually, myself, working there. And in China, it's much more state-directed, isn't it? I mean, it's the state that is saying, invest here, invest there. They're sort of picking winners, and they're picking, whereas the US is more capitalist, let's say, more laissez-faire. But how would you say each one is winning, and how can we maybe
I would
learn?
say that the beauty of the thing is that just having a good public investment and transfer of technology from ideas to realities, but also a partnership with the public and private, and making sure that we create the environment that we have incentive to innovate in Europe. And I think US has gone through a model that it's more a private piece on and making investment, but also publicly US has made a lot of investments also to really empower researchers going there and getting their investigations and getting products and connecting that with the companies. And China also, it's doing that very, I think, powerfully now, and having a lot of public investment. In Europe, I think we need to just follow what Draghi tells us in the report, saying biotech, and also later, they have told us, okay, biotech and biopharmaceutical is one of the strategic sectors that we need just to make sure that we empower, and getting the best of each of the models in US and China, but we have all the elements to be successful here, and is what we need just to execute, and making sure that we deliver and we act fast with appropriate legislation at the European level, and we have opportunities there.
I want to ask you about that. And I want to ask you just very directly, what do you need today? You've got many policymakers online in the room, both at the EU level and at national government and even regional government. What are you asking for from them? What are the sort of most important things that you need from the regulators, the policymakers, the legislators? What is it that they can do that can help Europe to become competitive again in this space?
There are three things, being very pragmatic, that are on the table now. There is the Biotech Act, that is new legislation at the European level. This is...
Are you happy with it? Is it a good act?
This is now the opportunity we have to write the future biotech in Europe. And this is currently starting the first conversations, and we need to ambition what we want to be in Europe and how we want to lead the way for biotech in the future. And thinking about that, this legislation and how we write this will create more innovation in Europe. And if we are restrictive and we have not the vision on that we need more incentive to make sure that we incentivize the researchers transforming their ideas in startups. The companies that we already established, we are motivated to keep our research here, and also really registration molecules at the European space, and just incentivize that this vicious circle, we won't get anywhere. And we have more pressure than we had 6 months ago, because US is trying
I wanted to ask you about this. So Donald Trump, we know, pays a lot of attention to Politico. He may even, maybe not at 5:30 in the morning, but maybe he's watching, or 6 in the morning.
Hope he doesn't.
He may be watching us. So if you, on behalf of Spanish pharmaceutical industry, if you had sort of your message to Donald Trump in your argument against his policies, or to convince him to change the policies he's following right now, what would you say to Donald?
Well, just if he calls me, okay.
Yeah.
I would say that innovation is for everyone. So we need to be innovative around the world, especially when we're talking about health. That's one thing. I'm very proud what US has done in the past, really empowering the innovation in health. I would tell that we in Europe, we have a lot of innovation, and we are committed to keeping the innovation and evaluate the innovation to reach the patients in Europe. For that, we need making sure that we do that together. And I would say that applying tariffs, it's not the best idea in terms of that we can really increase costs for medications, and this can have an impact on access for the patients. Having said that, Europe has a commitment that we need to innovate more, we need to put laws in place, and we need to commit to pay more for innovation. It means to evaluate appropriately the quality of innovation that we are providing to the patients. We need to rethink the value we bring to the society. If we think about sometimes we have the challenge that, and we have the opportunity in Europe that we have universal health at the same time. If we think the investment in one medication to a patient, it multiplies by 4 the benefit in economy, and sometimes we are not thinking this way. So I think we have duties also at the European level to rethink how we empower ourselves to be more competitive in innovation, but also that we evaluate the innovation at the level that it's required.
There you go, Mr. President, looking at the camera. If you heard that, if I was to summarize it, Mr. President, we're saying drop the tariffs and we promise to spend more on innovation here in Europe. Thank you very much. So we've talked about all of the challenges, we've talked about all the things we need to overcome to get back to a more competitive sector here in Europe. But what do you see as the opportunities? Where do you see some optimism, perhaps? We should always end on an optimistic note. I'm thinking in particular about the role of AI in drug discovery, clinical trials, things like this, and maybe bring it to Barcelona, to Spain a little bit. What do you see as a cause for optimism?
I'm always optimistic. I also think that the health is the most important thing that we have in our lives. So the Europeans and also the world demands health. That's the first thing. Artificial intelligence brings us a great opportunity. I've been doing clinical research for many years, and I always say that today, sometimes I don't understand what the scientists are doing, which I feel that we are advancing at a high speed. Artificial intelligence plays a great role. The way we discover molecules now, and using artificial intelligence allows us to go faster to understand the physiology of a disease and understanding genetics, and to find molecules, personalizing what's needed for specific mutation as an example, and really designing molecules through computer science and just having a predictable model and to land to a more successful molecules and being more faster and more efficient. In clinical trials also, we try to identify the populations that we need to really research, but minimizing the population that we exposed to a new medication, because we can't just try that with artificial models, we're using artificial intelligence. And also in diagnosis, we can get the patients being diagnosed faster, which is one of the things that we are trying to get there. So faster, accurate molecules to be successful, and also being very efficient in getting the solution for the patients.
Wonderful. So some optimism at least, and as I said, Barcelona is really a center, Catalonia, really a center of some of this exciting innovation. So that's what we have time for. It's great to see you. Thank you so much for joining me here. Our next panel, my colleague Aitor Hernandez Morales is going to be talking about energy security in Europe, which is obviously such a very important topic and urgent topic at the moment. But for now, thank you so much, and great to see you, and thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks.